Everybody on the internet, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again. And today this special Captain's Log start date 09/04/2017. This date marks my late father's, Robert Franklin Chandler Jr., his 90th birthday. Miss him every day. Younger, older. There's a couple of pictures of him. Anyway, in honor of his birthday today, I'd like to share something that actually came from him. He actually typed up and hand wrote a few things to me. So I'm pretty much going to be reading that out. Oh, this was old and whatnot. Oh, and then this one, just a little extra, more recent, like, I don't know, more than a decade ago. But anyway, in honor of his birthday, I'm going to be reading out his letter that he made out to me by my born name. Alright, so anyway, he started this, and then found a place to, and then eventually came to an end. But he started on December 26, 1987. This was after he got his Tandem brand computer and used the word processor in that. I used the word processor in there as well for. I made the list of all the video games I owned. That was pretty much that there. I mean, it was just a word processor. Anyway, so to Christopher Weston Chandler from your daddy. Started December 26, 1987. The reason for this open letter to you, which will grow as time goes on, is that I know now that I, at best, haven't much time left to share myself with you. Particularly to share my things, my dreams, and my thoughts with you at a time. In the future, when you will be able to understand, remember, to use my things and carry on my dreams if you want to. Hopefully we will grow much older together. I will probably be rambling until I drive you to distraction, but just bear with me because I will get to the point sooner or later. I hope I have been able to provide for you and your mother until you at least get through college, and for your mother until she joins me at the great sing-along in the sky or wherever. Anyway, I expect you to take care of her, love her, and never disappoint her for as long as she lives. I also expect you to never disappoint me, because I will always be with you to help you when the going gets tough, and you need me. Since everything always seems to happen for the best for me, and when I needed it, I have always felt like my mother was my guardian angel. You look exactly like my mother and I didn't plan my life. I just took it as it came along. I seem to have had no control over it. It always came along with what was right for me. Look at me 8 years ago in 1979, when I was really down and out. No friendship from Alan and Carol, my half-brother and half-sister. He was the father. I'm ready to cash in my chips with heart problems that I didn't even know about. Your mother, Barbara Ann, helped me through the rough spots, and together we had you. Now I really had something to live for. No better things or events could have happened to me. We have come a long way in the last 8 years. Together we have built a whole new life with an exciting set of dreams. I also expect you to never disappoint yourself. If you think you are at a dead end in something you are trying to do, just stand back, and if it is meant to be, an answer will break will appear. Just remember, there are many sides to a mountain and many ways to climb it. If you get stopped, back off, regroup, and try another way. If you are still not successful, maybe it is not meant to be. Accept it as experience and go after something else for a while. If it is meant to be, having it on the back burner simmering for a while is not bad. It will pop up again, and the way to attain it will be there. Everything in its time. Your mother and I have done our best for you, and in return we expect at least that from you for yourself and your children. I will be talking about a lot of things in no particular order. I won't always spell words right or have the best sentence structure, but then I am an electrical engineer, not an English major. As a matter of fact, English was my worst subject. I am going to try to write this just as if I'm talking to you face to face anytime you care to read this. All the physical objects and things I have and will talk about. Your mother Barbara or your Aunt Harriet will keep for you until you are ready for them. If you don't think you will ever need some of them or don't want some of them, don't waste them. Try to do something with them that you and your mother think I would do. Recycle them back into the world for the world to use. Remember, after all, we are only the custodians for a while, and what is one man's junk is another man's treasure. Okay, so here I go. Enough of a preamble. If you are still with me, turn the page. A place to start. Well, Christopher, one of my actions that I regret most when I was a young man, sometimes in the late 1940s, I think, I was entrusted with my grandfather's straight razor by means of his last will and testament, and I carelessly misused it and broke it by trying to use it as a screwdriver. I found out later that my grandfather Holloman had specifically wanted me to have it because it had been very personal to him, and he wanted me to have something of his that had been very personal to him. Something that he had used every day. Well, I still have that broken razor of his, and I still carry the burden of carelessly, with no concern, breaking it. I knew that I would never use it to shave with, but it was my one personal bond with him, and I still feel like I betrayed his trust by carelessly and thoughtlessly misusing it and breaking it. Maybe that razor did have a purpose greater than anything my grandfather and I ever dreamed of, for it is because of my careless waste of my grandfather's razor that I am writing this open letter to you. I hope that you will not carelessly misuse, waste, or destroy the value of the many things I have collected for you. Do not be in such a hurry to use, play, or work with these things. First learn all about them, how to use and enjoy them, their value, and how you could thoughtlessly waste their value. Then enjoy them as I have. For example, my very good stamp collection, or all of the recorded popular music on cassette tape, VCR tapes, and records. The oil paintings, United Nations art graphics, first day of issue covers, first flight covers, the complete set of the very valuable wrong first day issues of the United Nations covers. The musical movies I have collected for you on VCR tapes. My books on popular music, movies, entertainers, musical theater, ship models. My daylilies, gazebo, and dreams. As a boy, my greatest dream was to have inherited things from my mother, father, grandparents, etc. But alas, they were poor, and we were poor, and the things that we and they had didn't stay around long. I am a collector of things, even more than your mother, and when a boy, I always wished I had a stamp collection or coin collection or book collection in a large old house from my grandparents. Well, I did end up with a few things, which you will get from me. I have the Chandler family Bible from grandfather and grandmother Chandler. The graveyard plots where my grandfather, Chandler, and my mother are buried in CwcvilleGuardian, Alabama. A few books from my step-grandmother, Holloman, and a few of my mother's sister's books. My father's picture album as a boy, my mother's picture album as a girl, my picture album as a boy, a box of assorted pictures, a box of my mother's things when she was a young girl, including her teddy bear that she cut the hair off, thinking it would grow back, my baby clothes, all of my books, stamp collection, records, tapes, paintings, scout badges, trumpet, grandfather clock, my dreams for you, your mother, and other personal things. The things that are left from my parents' lives together and apart, except for the memories which I will try to write down in a separate document called my memoirs. I haven't found that document yet. My father had a second married life, much as I did, and just as you have half-brothers and half-sisters, I have a large number of half-brothers and sisters in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where my father is buried. I have another notebook full called This Is My Working Life, which you might find interesting as to how I spent the 42 years of the working part of my life from high school graduation in 1945 to my retirement in 1987. Another book I still haven't found yet. I have the first and only Scout handbook that belonged to my mother's half-brother, Dr. John James Holloman, Jr. This book started me on the road to becoming an Eagle Scout and a Scoutmaster. More about this in my memoirs. You will get this book as well as all my Scout books, Scout badges, and my dreams for you as a Boy Scout. And the last page here. Not part of this set, but anyway. Just a few recollections, apparently, from GE. Bob Chandler, one of our GE pensioners and former employee of General Electric Company here in Charlottesville, has several children graduating from various schools around the state this spring in 1988. Bob's son, David Allen Chandler, graduated May 21st, 1988 as a Doctor of Medicine from the Medical College of Virginia in Richmond. David Allen plans to do his internship at a hospital in Norfolk, Virginia, and then do his specialization studies in ophthalmology in the Washington, D.C. area. Excuse me a moment. Bob's daughter, Carol Suzanne Chandler, graduated from the University of Virginia on May 22, 1988, with a BA degree in mathematics with distinction. She was accepted into the Honor Scholastic Society Phi Beta Kappa by the University of Virginia and received the E.G. McShane Prize in Mathematics. She has been accepted for advanced studies in mathematics this fall by Northwestern University, the University of Pennsylvania, Columbia University, University of Toronto, and the State University of New York at Stony Brook on Long Island. Carol has selected the University of New York at Stony Brook for her advanced studies. And boy, this is old. This is from me when I was just finished kindergarten. And Bob's other son, to be daughter, Christopher Weston Chandler, to eventually be Christine Weston Chandler, will graduate from kindergarten at Greene County School in Stanardsville, Virginia. He plans to continue his studies in his first grade in the Greene County school system while living at home with his mother and father. Up to where we are today. And one last thing, well, this right here, this last page here, it's just a short family tree my father wrote in his handwriting. But anyway, on this he wrote theme music. Apparently he wanted a theme song to go with my work. This is just a little note about solitude that he would have liked, but it's not. I didn't feel it was accurate, but anyway, I'll get to that in a moment. But anyway, theme music. The Suite from the Three Oranges. And in parentheses it says FBI in Peace and War. Look that up. Apparently that was a radio show, FBI in Peace and War, and I'm guessing this Suite from the Three Oranges was the theme song for that radio show. I wanted to play that, but had difficulty 100%. Anyway, so he writes on this, August 18th, 2008. Dear Christian, at this time in life, you and Sanchu need a quest and purpose in life. As if Sanchu didn't have a purpose already that I'd given him, and everybody else and everything. This is what he wanted, my father. Let Sanchu become a champion for autistic persons everywhere and continually defeat the perils of autism. Oh, good grief. Sanchu could become the spokesperson for autistic persons with an ongoing fight for them in chapter after chapter or good deeds on the internet. He could become the spokesperson from now on. You and Sanchu could become famous worldwide. Then just he drew this little mini poster on the back. This like, look at this. Isn't that funny? Is that me? Is that me? Sanchu, defender, champion, and educator of autistic persons everywhere, knocking out the big A. It's funny. Yeah, he was a smart man, my father. Not everything as it would be. I mean, Sanchu does not have autism. None of my electric hedgehog Pokemon have autism. And if any pops up in Kwcville, I'll definitely be sure to make note of that. That's a whole different kettle of corn. I mean, the only autistic Pokemon I made was the grass psychic type Plautistic. That's it's on a train card I've made before, but I don't have it on me right now. It's in my binder. Anyway, so in memory of my father on his 90th birthday, read that for him. Read that for y'all. So anyway, happy birthday, Mr. Chandler, wherever you are. And now, by special request, I still don't know all the lyrics, but I'll sing the choral verse. We're not flawless, we're work in progress. We've got dents and we got quirks, but it's our flaws that make us work. Yeah, we're not flawless, we're work in progress. So tell me what flaws you got too, 'cause I still like what's flawed about you. Anyway, that's it for now, and also tune into the Dream Lounge podcast, the Internet Dream Lounge podcast, as I have made that tweet on my Twitter about it. I was interviewed. Listen to me for about an hour and a quarter. Anyway, that's it for now. This is Christine and Bob Chandler signing off for now. Have a great, safe day.